Hello and welcome to PressTV's Top 5. I'm Marcia Hashimi. Thanks so much for being with us. Well, Palestinian negotiators holding indirect talks for a permanent truce in Gaza say no deal will be signed with Israelis if Palestinian demands are not met. A senior Hamas official has reportedly said the terms proposed in the Cairo talks are still not satisfactory. The Islamic Jihad movement has also said no deal is better than a disgraceful agreement with Israel. Meanwhile, another Palestinian delegation led by Hamas is in Qatar to discuss a proposal for a long-term truce. Palestinians insist that Israel must lift the 7-year blockade of Gaza before any deal can be signed between the two sides. Tel Aviv wants Gaza to be disarmed. Crossing over to Jerusalem, Al-Quds, Vice Chair of the Palestine Solidarity Campaign, Kamel Hawash. Thank you so much for being with us. Good to have you with us, Mr. Hawash. Your take right now, we're seeing that so far the resistance seems to be in solidarity and standing firm in their demands that the 7-year siege be lifted. However, we know that for Tel Aviv, this would be a major defeat from their perspective if they give in to this demand. Your take, do you think that this time around it will be different and that Israel will see that it has no choice? Or do you think that the resistance will actually come a little bit off of their demands for lifting the siege?
I think we're witnessing a real defining moment in the ongoing, not just the current crisis, but the conflict between the Palestinians and Israelis. When you consider that nearly 2,000 people lost their lives, 10,000 people were injured, over 20,000 properties damaged, the price that has been paid for this moment has been extremely high on the Palestinians. And therefore, it is vital that they hold out for the best possible deal they can. And let's not forget that this is only about Gaza at the moment. So if they were to concede and give in to Israel's completely unreasonable demands, then it will make it even more difficult for the Palestinian negotiators to negotiate for an end to the occupation. So I think and I hope that the resistance groups will hold out. As we approach Monday, there will be a lot of pressure placed on them, particularly by the Egyptians, no doubt by the Americans and other allies. But it's vital that they secure a lifting of the siege. What Israel is trying to do at the moment is to condition it and to stage it. So, okay, if we remove the buffer zone, it will be done in stages, and the only judge will be the Israelis. If we increase the area in that the fishermen can fish in, there will be a starting point, and then Israel will decide if the Palestinians have been well behaved. So it's important that I think they hold out and they say, no, enough is enough. The 7-year siege must end. They are saying they will stop attacking Israel. Isn't that what Israel wants?
Thank you so much for being with us, the Vice Chair of Palestine Solidarity Movement. Mr. Kamel Hawash, we're going to cross over now to Gaza and talk to our correspondent on the ground there, Hisham Mahana. Hisham, your perspective overall on the situation. What are people saying on the streets? You are on the streets of Gaza right now. And of course, people have trying to get their lives back to as normal as it can be in Gaza. Tell me overall, when you're gauging the pulse of the people on the ground there, are the people prepared for possible consequences if the resistance continue to demand the end of the 7-year siege? Because Israel is saying so far that it will not give in to that demand, and at any time they could possibly start the onslaught again. Tell me what people are saying on the streets there.
The Palestinians in Gaza Strip have been living under the most strict blockade for more than 8 years. They have given a lot more than anyone else could give. And after that blockade, they entered, during that blockade actually, they have entered 3 wars, 3 raging, suffering wars with Israel. people of Gaza have lost a lot, actually. They have given up and suffered from almost every hard life conditions any human being can undertake. So if the negotiations and the demands of the Palestinian people are not fulfilled in Egypt after this humanitarian ceasefire ends, the people will not accept under any circumstance to go back to the same life before this offensive has started, which means that they will not accept to live under in an open prison, actually, an open Israeli prison. They will not accept to not to have the building materials they need. They will not accept the absence of power and electricity and fuel and the very high prices of goods. So the people have brought actually into that battle by Israel, but it means that the people are have decided actually to break this blockade, to end this sufferance, to end the Israeli aggression against them. It's a shifting point, actually. I believe that what's happening in the Arab-Israeli conflict as in general, the shifting which is happening in the Israeli government, that's going extremely to the right, and the Palestinians, most of the Palestinian population, not just in Gaza Strip but also in the West Bank, are adapting the resistance solution in order to end this occupation. Most of the people now disagree with the public approach Abu Mazen has been trying to follow, but they believe that the armed force, is the only way Israel could react to in order to fulfill their demands. The people now are trying to utilize every single minute of this humanitarian ceasefire. As you can see, the Gaza streets are busy. The people are out in the streets in order to take as much as possible of their needs in order to maintain this life until there is a serious announcement of the permanent ceasefire. Most of the opinions in the street, actually, from the Gazans, is that this is going to end soon. They are expecting any minute after this ceasefire to end to announce that this conflict has ended. Israel is going to lift the siege. Israel is going to ease their life because it has no other choice. Otherwise, it will continue to the war. And the Gazans have lost much more than anyone could imagine, that they cannot actually, that they would rather go and continue into the war rather than going back to the same life before this offensive. So the people are supporting the resistance. The people are supporting their rights to fulfill their dream towards the liberation and self-existence and have their own Palestinian state with its sovereignty, with the borders, with their own airport, with their own harbor. You cannot imagine the hard conditions that passengers, travelers who travel via the Egyptian borders, the Palestinian people who are deported in the Egyptian airport and kept there as prisoners. These conditions are not actually shown to the public. This is a small example of the sufferance of the people here.
Of course. Thank you so much for being with us out of Gaza. PressTV's correspondent.